you can only watch this video if you are an AI company, you're looking to start an AI company, you're looking to work for an AI company, or you are looking to invest in an AI company. And the reason that is because in this video, I am going to talk about why most AI companies are going to fail and what the biggest problem is in the industry at the moment, as well as how to avoid running into that problem. So, as we all know, founders are raising millions and millions of dollars right now just by putting AI on a pitch deck. And I think when people hear this, they often think it's over exaggerated, but I think it's less exaggerated than what people really think it is. The way that money is flowing into the industry right now. But the honest truth is that most of them, and most of you, if you're running a company watching this, are going to die out. And that's not my opinion. There are tons and tons of industry analysts, VCs, market reports, etc., all pointing to the same conclusion. And it's not because the tech isn't revolutionary or that AI is not the future, but it's because most founders have no idea where they actually fit into the market. So I'm going to ask you something, okay? Think about if AI were to disappear from every single tool tomorrow, every single tool on the planet, whether it's add-ons to existing softwares or standalone softwares, generative AI platforms, doesn't matter. Every AI to exist would just disappear tomorrow. What would you genuinely miss out on, and what would you genuinely miss in your day-to-day operations? So for most people I talk to, they can name maybe one or two tools. And for me personally, it's the only thing I can think of when that question comes to mind is ChatGPT. That's the only thing that would disrupt my workflow if I were to lose it tomorrow. So that's just something to think about, right? In terms of what impact it's actually having on our lives and on our workflows. And the speed at which things are developing right now is both a blessing and it can be a curse. Look at when OpenAI just a couple of days ago dropped the image generation capabilities, right? What do you think happened to the over 2,000 other specialized AI image tools? What do you think they're doing right now? They're all fighting for market share, and they're forced to scramble to adapt, change their product to find some sort of competitive advantage, aka finding where they fit into the market, or they're gonna watch all their users just completely vanish. And that has already happened with a lot of companies. I've experienced it myself in terms of there's a software that we used to use for image generation. Now we don't need to use it anymore because ChatGPT already does it. I already pay for ChatGPT. Why do I need to pay for another software to do the exact same thing, right? So as this happens, and the disruption for companies to get into the market and disrupt legacy technology is really good, but other AI companies can also disrupt AI companies, right? Does that make sense? So that's in this video, I'm going to be literally breaking down that trap in AI and how to avoid it if you're building in the space right now. So my background started my first registered company at 16. I did some stuff before that, but first registered company at 16. And yes, I know it's not legal. It was not under my name. It was under my mother's name, actually. At 17, I started working at an engineering startup and then eventually left to do my own thing. And I started developing tools in or AI solutions because the industry and the growth of it really interested me. And as I was doing research into other AI solutions, the companies that were currently were coming out with all these different things, I really discovered a strong desire coupled with seeing the need to help companies with their strategy and development, because I saw a lot of them were struggling. A lot of people that build these solutions are purely technical minded, and they have zero to none of the actual business experiment, right? So now I run a company with my co-founder called Emberly, and we're a data-centric consulting company that focuses on aligning sales, marketing, and product to solidify product market fit and drive sustainable and effective go-to-market growth. So getting into the problem that we currently have, as if you couldn't notice already, and if you didn't notice already, VC money is flowing into the market similar to what it was in 2021, not in terms of the volume of the overall market, but in terms of the volume of the investment into AI. And I'm pretty sure it's actually at an all-time high right now, or it was at the end of last year. But most people aren't talking about how similar to the dot-com bubble, AI lacks established historical data to make your investment off of, right? These investments right now are based pretty much entirely on speculation of future value. And now I know, yes, that's all investments are kind of to some extent based on that, but this is serious speculation in terms of not knowing what the actual impact of not just the company, but AI itself not being as established, what that impact will actually be like in our day-to-day lives and operations. So there's no question that AI is useful, and it can be really useful, but just like the internet in the early 2000s, it was useful too. But again, history repeats itself. It's a old but gold saying. We're heading for a correction. Now, whether you want to call it crash, pullback, whatever it is, right? That is going to happen pretty soon. And this will really happen. Well, you can't really put a timeline on it. It's more of a correlation to a series of events that will happen. And I think this will only happen once the market realizes how little these tools are currently actually impacting our lives and our workflows. Hence why I asked the question earlier, if it were to all disappear tomorrow, how drastically would your life change, right? So founders are rushing to raise capital before they even identify what the problem is that they're solving, because there is so much money flowing into it. They launch with vague concepts like AI for content, AI for operations, an AI assistant for X, but they're forgetting the one thing that actually matters, or the two things that actually matters: problem fit and distribution. If your startup is currently not doing well and you're watching this right now, you most probably do not need better technology. You just need a better reason to exist, right? So what happens when you ignore product market fit? So let's break down this spiral that you will be going down. So if you have no product market fit, you will have no retention, and no retention will equal no sustainable revenue, and no sustainable revenue will mean that you will be burning through your raised capital until investors give up on you. And I've seen this happen with a lot of companies. You can read about this happening with a lot of companies. I actually recently looked into a startup that had over 10 million in funding, and their daily active usage rate was less than 4%, right? Now, 4%, I know it's crazy low for a company of that size that you would think would be in a growth phase, because they've already found a market that likes to use the product, but that was not the case at all. And this is because they built around AI and not necessarily around a problem, right? They built what was cool, not critical. And the three biggest mistakes that I see over and over is, one, there's too much tech, not enough problem. As you'll hear me mention a lot in the video, most AI startups start with a breakthrough model that they're excited about, cool interface on a wrap, or a cool wrapper with a cool interface, and then some integration with an existing tool, which is great. You can build something around that, but the issue comes with most of them skipping the fundamental question, which is who actually needs this and why do they need this right now? So the technology that you're building might be impressive, but nobody wakes up thinking, I need a multimodal large language model with enhanced reasoning capabilities, right? They wake up thinking, I need to get this specific task done faster, or I need to solve this business problem that's costing me this amount of money. Two is burnout. So even if you raise $5 million, right? You're not solving a painful problem. You don't serve a clear audience with clear needs, and you can't retain your users without consistently pushing marketing and up on your marketing spend. You're going to be dead within 18 months, right? The pattern is always the same. You go big launch, lots of initial users, steady decline, desperate pivot, another decline, then either fire sale or shutting out completely. Now, 3, hype hides the lack of depth. So because AI is really hot right now, founders confuse initial interest with actual demand. So just because people try your tool doesn't mean that they're actually going to stick with it. The novelty wears off fast if there's no underlying utility to it. The retention is going to be your ultimate test, and without it, you're not running a business. You're running a very expensive beta program at scale, subsidized by investors who will eventually lose their patience. So how do you fix it before you burn out? So here's what you need to do if you're currently a founder, you're thinking of launching something soon in the space. This is what I would do. 1, get hyper specific with your user, not just building something for creatives, but YouTube creators who upload at least three times a week and hate scripting. You need to find the burning problem that they have. AI is not a solution, it's just a medium. So what's the pain point that actually exists with or without AI? You have to test fast and test ugly. Don't build for 6 months or 9 months. You ship an Ocean Dock, Loom video, basic wrapper, and get 10 users within the first couple of days. Distribution first, tech second. Build the brand, build the inside loop. The tech will catch up, but your community won't wait. So it's kind of one of the biggest moats that you will have right now is your community, because of the rapid speed that technology is moving and how quickly someone can catch up to you. Even if your tech right now, literally today, you could have revolutionary technology within 3 to 6 months. If it's really that good, you will be copied by someone. Then I would refine your product and your go-to-market with data. Track what users actually do, not what they say. You want engagement and retention metrics, not any vanity metrics. And you have to remember that you're not building an AI company, you're building a business that uses AI to solve a real problem. That distinction is really everything. So here's what winning AI startups are currently actually doing. The people that are currently winning and that will win in the future are not just selling AI, they sell outcomes. Get 3 hours of your life back per week. Book 2x more calls without hiring anyone new. Double your email revenue with no additional team members, right? This is what gets people to retain on your product. Look at companies like 11 Labs, Perplexity, or Harvey AI. They have a clear niche, clear value prop, and a clear path to monetization. They're not chasing the hype. They're building a distribution first, product second, with AI as a powerful engine underneath. So, in essence, you should not raise money just because you can. Don't chase the trend. You should build something that you still believe is going to be timeless, using AI as leverage, right? The AI hype cycle, whatever you want to call it, is going to be temporary, right? If you don't think it is in the state that it is now, then you should think again. With that being said, solving real problems for real people will never die. So just like before the internet was out, people building solutions just based on the technologies that was out at that time and not solving an actual problem, they died out at some point. But the companies that actually built around a problem and integrated the technology within the dot-com boom and cycle, most of them are still around today, right? And that is how you survive cycles like these. So you need to remember to build smart, or you're going to go broke pretty quickly. The choice is yours, especially after watching this video. So if you enjoyed the video, found some value out of it, make sure to like and subscribe. And I will be putting out more and more videos like this. And I would love for you to leave a comment that answers my question that I posed earlier in the video with, if it were to all disappear tomorrow, what is the one thing that you would miss? What is it could be multiple things, but what are the softwares that you're actually going to miss and that you use on a day-to-day basis? You can generally say use on a day-to-day basis. I'm excited to see your guys' answers, and I will see you in the next video.